Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile 2. In this episode, I'm going to be going over our build updates. We've been doing a lot of Simulacrum, pretty much like, imagine 80 of the Simulacrums. I've just been spamming them back to back to back to back. I've been doing really well. We're even at 45% XP, like we're actually leveling through 97 with Simulacrum. And then I wanted to show you like a couple things, so then I go into all of the stuff. But I got a +1 minion helmet. It's a corruption with an enchant. It's crazy. And then I also got megalomaniacs, our anoints jewels. It's like blight and simulacrum combined, bro. And then I changed my tree a bunch, so yeah, I want to go through all this stuff. The specific order that I decided is I'm gonna show you level 40 Frost Mage. In the last vid, someone was commenting, why didn't you go 40? Yeah, bro, I was getting there. I had tried the +1 support as well, but I don't even have to run that to hit 40. It's from the +1 helmet now. So yeah, you can corrupt a helmet, and instead of getting an extra socket for the rune, I got the one minion skill. I bought this for 40D. I have 2 of them with the extra socket. Unlucky, dude. 2 extra sockets. So, rest in peace. But I didn't want that. I didn't want the extra max mana. I wanted the +1 minion skills. It's really sick. And then, yeah, that got us to 40. And then our Frost Mage with our link, it's bugged. 33,581. And then that's with scattershot. Cold Pen, Fork, wildshards, and the arcane tempo. So the old setup, I went back to it, and then 33k, so it's more damage than it used to be. I also changed the Hound. He's feeding frenzy +2 minion mastery and fire mastery, and then I did fire infusion and then martial tempo. This thing's hitting for 83,000. Absolutely crazy. Per hit 36,000. He attacks really fast. And then yeah, he does fire with the attack now. It was mostly because I was doing the melee physical support where it's 35% more fizz and 10% less attack speed, but the less attack speed's annoying, and sometimes the enemy just has cold resistance, where they don't have extra fire res, so this extra fire is actually pretty good, where yeah, the cold only works against our frost mages. Yeah. Now, so yeah, corruption +1. So then we have the +2 helm with the extra +1, so it's a +3 helm. The mana ES, the fire res. Yeah. Then my reses, I'm not giga overcapped on my reses anymore for Simulacrum because it doesn't seem to be lowering my resistances. That was more for ritual. I was losing 15 to 30 res in the maps. But in Simulacrum, I'm not losing them, so I just have extra fire, and then I just have enough of cold and lightning now. It's way better. And then I had also I upgraded my Ami. So we have our +3 still, the mana, but then I got a mana regenerate on the Ami now. So imagine having 622 mana regenerate with only 5,600 mana, so we heal in less than 10 seconds. It used to be that I took 15 seconds to full heal my mana, and now it's only 10, because I got the mana regenerate on the Ami, Ring, Scepter. We have so much mana regenerate, it's crazy. Whoops. So yeah, I started getting this everywhere and gave up some of the resistances, because that's extra suffixes. And as you remember, my scepter is the big spirit scepter with the mana, cast speed, +5, and mana regenerate. In Simulacrum, a lot of the time when I actually have a difficult wave and I have to run around instead of just chilling, I actually off-screen my minions, so I'm not always in their presence for the cast speed, just so you know. So this mod is like not perfect. It's probably my least liked mod on the scepter. It's still good, obviously, when you're actually in presence of your minions, but otherwise it doesn't work, and then it doesn't do anything. The rings, I just got mana res and then mana regenerate. And then I do a mana catalyst, and yeah, just mana and then res and regen. So I tried to hit that regen suffix on both rings with a lot of res and actually cap my resistances. Obviously I could change these now because I have so much extra fire. I don't need all this fire. I probably will, by the way. balance it out more. And then our glove was just life and mana and reses, and then the max mana corruption to get the extra rune. Got the extra rune on the chest. I had an extra rune on the helmet, but I went for the +1 instead. I think it's better. And then yeah, the chest is the Morior Invictus, which people have been asking. It's basically just like the shield, the Mahuatl, for big increased max mana from the soul cores. But it's through the chest, so increased max mana and Ellie res, and I get a ton of Ellie res, which is where I have too much. This chest gives so much mana, so 56, 48, it's 1400 just from this chest. And like I was showing, this 400 ES chest is like 800, where this was 1400. Huge. And like I could get an extra minion from the spirit. And then you obviously have those resistances and that mana regen rate, but you could see how 40 to 50 mana regen rate, where I'm hitting like 70, 80, 80. Yeah, the other chest actually gives more just from the mana, from how much mana regen rate we already have. We just need more mana, not mana regen rate now. It's really sick. So it's actually about getting our mana as high as possible to get more mana regen rate now. And even more flat mana, because I already have so much of this increased mana now from all the ruined soul cores and the chest and everything, and the Ami. I have a lot of sources of increased max mana now. There's even some on the tree with raw mana, mana blessing, and I anointed calibration now instead of step like mist for AFK simulacrum, because I'm not moving that much. Yeah, I'd rather the extra mana. Was really good. I even took this int up here for the extra flat intelligence, which would give me the flat mana, because it's 2 mana per intelligence. And then I'd taken the right hand of darkness again, and I took the minion Ellie res for the minion survivability for simulacrum, because some of the later waves with RNG of the mods plus the rare mods, the arch nemesis mods, with like invulnerability auras, elemental resistance auras, healing aura, you name it, there's a bunch of auras of buffing up all the monsters, and when they're not dying, then yeah, we needed a little bit more survivability on the minions, so I ended up taking right hand of darkness, this minion Ellie res. I showed this jewel, we'll get back to it now. Megalomaniac is it can anoint 3 things. There could be a 3 mod. They're 1% drop rate, so you have to do 100 simus for 1. I haven't even gotten 1 yet. I've gotten 3 or 4, I think 4 of the 2 mod. Anyways, Arcane Blossom, Endless Blizzards, Arcane Blossom over here, 4-pointer, mana recovery rate, and we have the 4-pointer +1 cold. So these didn't do anything for me, so I saved 4 points and hit this. Well, save 4 points except for the mana regen rate, which I already told you I have so much of, so this is actually fine to save. And it's a jewel saving you 8 points in my specific setup. Obviously now I point out, like, you can have any node on these jewels, so it depends on what build you are, what nodes you want, but these can be extremely insane build defining. Build around you get these and then it just saves you 1,000,000 points. You could get things that you need for your build without pathing across the whole tree, for example. It's really sick. And then yeah, 8 points for a jewel suck, it's worth it, because a jewel suck, you could get one in like 5 points, 4 points, and then yeah, just save the points plus the int for the pathing. And I ended up taking out some jewel sockets, so I'm back down to this normal tree. And then I'll show you my jewels as well. So I have my hinder with attack and cast speed, crit damage bonus, and minion damage. Maim with minion damage, attack and cast speed, and crit damage bonus. And then that one. And then I had minion damage, attack and cast speed, crit damage bonus. And then this one also has minion accuracy rating. You can roll that as a prefix. It's just hard to get a 4 mod. And the minion accuracy rating is actually sick, because my Hound auto attacks, and so he has accuracy for his auto attack, and 2378. I also took these crit damage bonuses, and it's instead of the minion damage, because I already have in our build 379 minion damage. So technically this crit damage bonus was a bigger impact when I already had 25% crit hit chance with 280 crit damage bonus. Yeah. Because it's basically 25% of the 15, which is more than 10% of 379. relatively. You know what I mean? Anyways, so then this jewel, I hit a Corruption of Chaos res, but it's minion attack and cast speed, crit damage bonus, and minion damage. It's mostly about these 3 mods being really well rolled. And then it's just a good Corruption, some extra cold res with minion damage, crit hit chance, and crit damage bonus. And then we had Corrupted Blood on minion damage, minion attack and cast speed, minion crit hit chance. So you can see just a balance of those 4 mods. There's the 3 suffixes: minion attack and cast speed, crit hit chance, crit damage bonus. Those are the 2 of 3 you want, and then minion damage pretty much always, which is where you get a lot of minion damage from the jewels after all, with all of them. And then yeah, I have the Prism of Belief. If you haven't seen this vid, pointed out that you can get a Prism of Belief from Arbiter of Ash, and this is, you can get 1, 2, 3 level of a skill, and so I got +3 to Skeletal Frost Mage. It's really sick. Actually huge, because yeah, 40, if you were wondering how we got the 40, so yeah, it's +1 from the Corruption, so it's 21, and then 19 global now. 19 global, which yeah, the difference why it's 4 extra global on that one over the Hound is the +1 cold, and then the +3 specifically Frost Mage. I don't think there's one for the Hound. Yeah, I don't think you could give a +3 to the Hound, so you would have to get the levels separately, which I gave him 2 levels, but yeah. And then he's up to 30k life, and this dude's up to 20k life. And then yeah, our build's been really sick. And then the defenses on them, 83 across the board and 50 chaos res. Saying the physical damage mitigation is 75. They have a decent amount of armor. Actually have quite a lot of armor. Checking their evasion, 642. 1100. Neat. Go over some more of it. So I went over the rings, the Ami, the helm, scepter. So yeah, I had this trench timber for the +4. This was also big of getting the levels. And then the levels are like, imagine 16 to 20% more damage. It's like crazy in PoE 2, the level scaling. And so then it's the same thing of when you're doing higher tier maps or higher difficulty endgame mechanics on the tree, you're actually scaling up the levels, and then the monsters are doing like 16 to 20% more per level. So just be aware of that. It can get pretty crazy. Nice. My belt was the extra charms, reduced charms, charges, the charm effect duration, the res, the attributes, the charm slots, the mana. I run these charms. I've been doing the thawing charm, so it's 57 of 80, and I get immune to freeze, duration, reduced charges, both max tier, like those are the highest tier, and then it's 57 of 80 and 4.4 second duration. I corrupted for the quality, and you can see I'm 1 of 1. So this is how many uses, because it uses 57 and only leaves 23. On the stone charm, when you do reduced and you have reduced from the belt, it stacks, and then you get 28 of 80, which makes you have 3 uses and the extra duration, so 3.7 times 3 with that extra quality. And then we had slows, and you can see it's also 3 of 3, and it's 28 of 80, and it's the reduced charges max rolled. That's perfect. And then it had the 10% reduced from the belt. You could technically get 15. But yeah, then I had the best tier of duration as well. So 4.2 times 3. So slows. And then slows in PoE 2 include action speed slows, not just normal movement speed slows. So it includes like chill and stuff like that. And then yeah, the melting maelstrom from the last vid where it just heals all the mana. And then the boots just move speed, ES, mana, int, res, which, yeah, I could swap boot if I'm not using as much move speed for running around gigantic maps and I'm just trying to AFK Simulacrum. I don't need the move speed as much, but I'm still running it because I'm not AFK and I like running away from the monsters. And then when they're slowing me and stuff with like temporal bubble, if I was even slower, I don't even think I'd be able to escape. This is absolutely sick though. I wanted to really go over this build and update people on where we're at with it. I have the instant life flask. I don't use it that much, and I could use the guard one, but it costs more. But yeah, that's what I've been doing right now. And then, like, the mana regen rate Ami. I have another one where I could be running lightning res rarity, and then you get increased armor. But I went for regen rate instead over those. Because technically for this, like I say, the resistance isn't doing anything, and then they armor break, and like I don't want rarity. I don't care. But yeah, that's the build update. I'll show you some of the other links just in case. So yeah, I had clarity on my purity of lightning. These ones don't matter, but it's vitality, cannibalism, herbalism. And then my blink, I don't use it, but technically the boss can escape the arena. The Kosis teleports, and if you are standing next to the door, he can actually just teleport and end up in the other room that has a door, so you can't actually get through. The way to get through is you disable 2 of your minions. You have enough for blink. You turn on blink, and now you can blink through the door just like he did. So you do the same thing. You just copy him, and it's kind of buggy. It doesn't always work. You might be blinking into a door like 40 times just to copy him, but yeah. Then I was gonna show one run, because I want to. I was going to the whole time, planning it. But then yeah, Hypothermia. You can't always use this because the enemy gets less effective curse in here. So sometimes it's minus 12 cold res instead of 48. And I have the increased effective curse, I have the reduced delay, and I have the increased skill effect duration. So persistence, focus curse, heightened curse, and then Eye of Winter with strip away, with the exposure, cold exposure. And then unleash to cast multiple. And then inevitable crit. Inevitable crit's not that great because I've noticed that there's so many mobs in Simulacrum that I'm probably hitting a random white mob with my Eye of Winter and critting on it, which means I'm never really stacking this up probably, and then I'm not getting the inevitable crit on the boss to get him exposured, because you need to crit for the exposure to work. So I was trying to use this to increase my crit, but I think I'm just critting on random shit and exposing them instead of exposing the boss. Unlucky. But yeah. And then technically I have Leap Slam with the Overpower, Holy Descent, and Wind Wave, but I don't really use it. We AFK until like 7 or 9, depending on the wave mods. And then yeah, I roll around and cast Eye of Winter. I barely use the Hypothermia because a lot of the time they have less effective curse, and it's minus 12 cold res, and the Eye of Winter can do minus 26 plus all the crit, so it's just way bigger of a damage boost with Eye of Winter when there's less effective curse. I also have pen on our build anyways, so them having resistance and then penetrating them, I want the crit then. Yeah, we could take our crit from the like 25% up to 50% with our 280 crit multi. So imagine with Eye of Winter an extra like 25% crit of the 280 crit multi. So it's like, imagine 70% more damage on average through the crit with just the stacking the crit of Eye of Winter. And that's not counting the minus 26 cold res. You could argue that's another 26% more as well, in a way. Obviously, it's a little bit different. Could be even more, relatively. Because, like, if they had max resistance and you lowered them by 26 to 50 instead of 75, let's say, so, you know, you're doing 50 damage instead of 25, you're doubling your damage, kind of like the penetration, but then the penetration won't have as big of an effect, right? Because if the pen was doing that from max cold res down to like 45, so they're taking 55 instead of 25, you're doing over double damage with the pen. But if you already lowered the resistance off of the max from the 75 with the 26 down to 49, and then you penetrate the 30, so they're taking the 51 and then they take an extra 30, it's 81 instead of 51, so it's not double, but it's still such a significant amount more. And it's not 30 more, it's technically like 60 more in a way, right? Anyways, you get my point. Point is, we don't always need to delete all the res, and then it's showing about the relative how powerful deleting the res slash building up the crit slash just penetrating the res is actually in our build, and how good this is. And you really also have to think penetration was like the uber mod, well, the mod on pinnacle bosses in PoE 1. Like most of the bosses at Ziri, Shaper, Headpen, Maven. Pen's crazy. Simulacrum's so sick in the beginning. Free 7 waves. I've died a couple times while AFKing the first few waves to a mana siphoner. It spawns perfectly where the donut is on you and you just get drained by some invisible mob. It's pretty annoying. But then I figure it's still early on in the simu, so I didn't waste that much time and I could just start again, and it was AFK, so I don't mind that much. Where when if it happens on a later wave, bro, I'm moving. I am not trying to AFK a wave 15 yet. Cause yeah, it's the worst when you've done the whole simu, you're on the last wave, you're about to get your big drop, the unique guarantee, and then you die. It's like, no, my loot. I was looking forward to the 15 unique. True. Simulacrum is so sick in PoE 2 though. That's why I had to show another one. And like our damage got way better. And then yeah, I'm using this setup, and I'm not using AoE, I'm using Fork over it. I like it because of the density. Just constant monster spawns. I've had the monsters keep spawning even after the bosses spawn. And so you just need really good clear in Simulacrum. Especially when the rare monsters with the arch nemesis mods start to pop off and do their invulnerability or and all that craziness, you actually just need better coverage, better clear, because if everything's invulnerable and you can only hit the one that's not invulnerable, your minions don't really know that, so they just have to be able to hit like everything at once, and it's better to just have a ton of clear so that we can actually clear off those rare monsters. It turns out, in my opinion, that the rare monsters are causing me more trouble than the bosses. That's why I need such clear. It's not just about the bosses. I actually like it when the bosses are last alive and the rares are all dead. It's pretty good. Ends up working out really well. Penetrate damage. Wave 9, I'm gonna move. We're in the cornfield. They actually clear out the cornfield at the end. And I noticed they put this dude in the middle, and he's on a stick, and it's like scarecrow. And then it actually is like a physical object that you could hide behind or walk into and stuff. That's kind of weird. Got Koses. Don't get fireballed. This fireball with the pen can do a lot of damage. Nice. Lightning storm. Despair. Can I get the flask? Can I get a megalomaniac from this run? I hope you guys have been enjoying PoE 2. If you haven't been enjoying mapping, I highly recommend checking out Simulacrum. If you're tired of your other character, your other reroll, bro, maybe come back to the minions, play some Simulacrum, scale up your mana build. It's pretty good, dude. It's almost like Blight League. It's like Blight had sex with the Simulacrum and made the new PoE 2 Simu, man. Oils, anoints, the megalomaniac multi-anoint gear. Like, what is this shit? It's so cool. And Simulacrum's sick, man. You don't have to run around and clear the wave every wave now. They just actually end properly. It's so good. A lot of the time I actually just walk around and then on the later waves, and then when I have 2 stacks on my Eye of Winter, then I shoot it, because that means it shoots 3. It's the unleash. But you have to wait. And then if you get CC'd while you're using it, it just cancels it and uses the charges. That's really annoying, but it is what it is. And then I've noticed that this is when I've been stunned So I'm not immune to stuns. I get stunned and then I'm immune to stun. Therefore, this doesn't actually stop you from getting stunned initially. I'm still getting stunned. It's just helping for the chain stunning. But I still get micro stuns, which are really, really, really annoying. And it doesn't remove the one that I actually get. It just means I cannot be after. But this one actually says you're unaffected, while this one is becoming immune to stuns after. And it's not immune, it's cannot be, which means if I'm already stunned, it doesn't matter. So that's kind of lame. And that's where I've had my Eye of Winter cancelled, because I'm still getting stunned. And it's been pointed out you could get more stun threshold by doing life stacking, but then imagine you only build 5,000 life, and then you reserve half of it, so you only have 2,500 life, and my Mycosis has hit me for 5,000. My Omniphobia has hit me for 4,000. 2,500 is not enough. You would need to get like 10,000, and then you would get half of it reserved. You would have 5,000 left, and then I don't see you getting 10,000 on an Infernal. And it's still being okay, while also then you're only having 5,000 left over. And imagine, like I say, you just get one shot. You need more than 5k. It's like, so you would need more than 10k if you're reserving half, which if you're getting that hard, you probably would reserve even more of your life and just go mana again, which yeah, mana siphoners mess me up. Volatiles. This round is messing me up. It's got life and LE res. Everything's tanky. I'm in the circle. I'm out of the circle. I'm escaping. Let's kill off this Koses. My dog, he actually died. I was gonna say, he actually lives this. He looked like he was dead. That was a crazy round. Orb of Annulment. The rare extra mod plus the 2 tank mods is some of the craziest shit. This is like the craziest thing you can get almost. Penetrate's like a scary mod. The extra rare mod, the 2 tank mods. Less effective curse with this, pretty much. This is where I could use the curse. Oh, and technically another one is you don't want to run around the whole arena if you can avoid it, because you spawn the whole arena. And if you stay on just like some small area, then you delay the spawns a little bit. And you won't get as overwhelmed like I just did last round, because I forgot. I don't focus fully when I'm, you know, talking while I'm playing, but it's okay. Didn't die or anything, it's fine. Honestly shows off the minion's tankiness, where the Hound actually almost lived that stuff, where it was like a really, really bad round. Shows off how close the minion tankiness is, and how we actually did need the minion defenses. It's crazy. We're on the final wave. That's the sound of the flask popping off. It pops off really late. Less effective curse, no LE res though. So this is technically less effective curse is less tanky than the monster LE res one, because 50 is more than the 36 that I lose on the hypothermia. Yeah. Because like my hypothermia is a -48, but then it's still a -12 after the mod. So it's -36 lost, but the other mod's 50. So technically the 50 is worth more. I would have to have an even bigger curse, or the less effective curse would have to be like -100 for it to basically be the same thing. I've summoned the whole arena. But now we're just going to use our like Giga Clear fork setup to actually kill everything all at once. I love this setup for just randomly hitting monsters. Maybe they're not like getting one-shotted obviously, but they getting hit enough to get frozen so they stop moving is huge for my survivability and my enjoyment of Simulacrum. I got the Perfidy chest. You shall serve me helmet or chest is cheap, so I just leave them. And then I pick up the staff, the amulet, and the mana flask, or the megalomaniacs. That's pretty much what you're actually looking for. Either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys did enjoy our build update. All the changes, the optimizing, the improving of the build. Mostly the optimizing of the build, optimizing it for Simulacrum specifically, like how about the reses and whatnot, specifically the minion tankiness. I didn't need this much in mapping, and yeah, you take way more damage in here, and then trying to set up the build for AFK and scaling it up, and Brawl for our 33k damage, like where if you take out Scatter, it's 52k. It's actually insane. And that's with Cold Pen and Fork and wildshards. Like, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And now I'll take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you to Rico549, Joe No Mercy, David, Hannah, Cynic, Salad, Austin, Alex, Johan, and Hate. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!